Hello guys, Joker the Fool here, and this is my review of Gabriel and the Guardians #0. This is of course the manga that is releasing alongside the animated series put out by Angel and Colossal Studios, and this manga is being published by Ripasend, and this is a true manga reading from right to left as you can see, and it's the exact same size as a tankobon. Of course, I've got the first tankobon or volume of Dragon Ball, the original Dragon Ball, and I think this is probably the best if I'm going to use as an example for manga. As you can see, the spine is in the same direction, and of course, it's in that basically same size, so it's got very much that manga feel to it. And I definitely say not only is the format the same as manga, but definitely the art as well. So you've got this little inside page here, which gives you the most hard world building. Of course, the credits here, and then you've got the art. This is a 32-page prequel to the show, and this is absolutely fantastic art. Of course, if you're an experienced manga reader or anime enjoyer, you can tell this is like Attack on Titan reference here. You can tell this is a JoJo's reference here. So just the way the layouts and the lettering is done, if very much is taking inspiration from manga, and it's using the way that mangakas typically use comics to tell their stories, and it's taking all of that, adding their own stuff to it, and they're doing a decent job. The world building in this is a little bit confusing. There's a lot of terms that are mentioned, like, Quayin and the city of Quayin and Nehaya and Aya, as, like you've got Rafa and all these sorts of things, and it's not really very much well explained, but you do have this fight that ends up being a fight between two brothers, so it's a pretty simple main story. It's just sprinkled in with a whole bunch of stuff that you don't really have a good basis for knowing, and it's not really that well explained because this is only 32 pages, but the art is fantastic to flip through, even though since it is small, some of the stuff does feel a little bit shrunk. So it could I guess, look a little bit better because with how small these pages are, you do have the fact that some of the stuff can feel like a little bit too like squished in, I guess would be the right term, but that is very rare throughout this book. Of course, you've got this epic 2-page spread by the end, and with the shading and everything, the shading, the character designs, it all is very much engaging. And this is, like I said, very much a typical manga. So if you like to read manga, you like your typical shonen manga, Attack on Titan, Demon Slayer, Dragon Ball, any of that stuff, you enjoy reading those mangas, you will pick this up. And again, I not say again, but this is a $5 book. It's definitely cheaper than what your typical manga is. Of course, something like this is probably going to run you between $10 and $20, but of course you're getting between 150 and 200 pages of story. You're getting a 32-page story and then a preview of the Gabriel and the Guardians #1 manga. You see the first few pages right here, so you're definitely getting a lot less content, but it is of course a lot cheaper, and even in this small and different format than what Ripasend and Ripaverse are typically publishing, this is still a pretty high quality, I would say, yeah, high quality book. Of course, you got the Kanan White cover here, absolutely fantastic to see. Now, like I said, this is definitely what I would say classic manga in terms of the presentation, in terms of the lettering, in terms of the storytelling. Now, it's going to be remains to be seen how faithful this manga is going to be to the show, and how well the show and the manga work off of each other. That's definitely something that a lot of manga and anime have been able to really execute well. A lot of them haven't. So we'll see how Angel and Colossal Studios handle that. But Ripasend is, of course, really good at getting stuff out. They were good at getting this out, good at getting Achromatic Chronicles out, and of course, Ripaverse is gotten a good history of fulfilling, which is why Ripasend is the thing in the first place. So they're ready to do this. It's just having the writing, the creative team. You've got David Evan Cunningham and Lisa Toholsky, of course, working with all the people at Colossal Studios. I believe it's Johnny Sung who voices Gabriel. I believe he's contributing as well. I could be wrong on that, but this is definitely a pretty compelling start. I like this story. It was a nice little book to flip for, and especially since it's $5, it's not really something you need it to be like the most epic thing ever. It's just some of the world building does feel a little bit confusing, but it's not the most confusing thing in the world. And like I said, I think there's a lot going on with Gabriel and the Guardians that the show and the manga definitely can work off each other very well. But that is something that remains to be seen. But with what we have now, I am cautiously optimistic that this is going to be something that can stand alongside the great anime and manga that's made it such a massive staple in the pop culture, not just in Japan, but globally. But that's really all I have for you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this review of Gabriel and the Guardians. Despite all the rambling, Joker is out.
Thank you for stopping by the Velvet Room. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe so you can keep up with Velvet Room Publishing. And go to velvetroompublishing.com if you want to go even deeper into the Velvet Room.